So yesterday, Luck, the owner of the game, posted basically a stage telling everyone what the future of the game would look like, including future updates, future specials, future sneaks. So today I'll give you all a rundown of what it's going to look like. Kicking it off with some bad news is there is no update this weekend. It's unfortunate, but it's kind of expected. We got the Valentine's Part 2 last weekend, so it's only natural that we'd probably have to wait more than a week for a huge update like Dimension 2. But what is really exciting is Storyline is coming into the game. Very soon, apparently. They said coming soon. Now, to those of you who don't know what Storyline is, there used to be like a door right here behind this island here, with basically some NPCs and like a hidden cave. And it was kind of like, as the name suggests, a huge storyline idea that kind of wasn't just restricted to one dimension. There were NPCs all over the dimensions, giving quests, following a storyline, and it was all just very exciting. You know, it gave a different kind of aspect to the game other than just AFK. This next one though I'm really excited about. Tournaments are coming. There isn't a promise on the time when it's coming, but they are coming, which means I will probably do live streams against you guys in tournaments, you know, some fun. Tournaments from the old game are done really well for its time, so if this game can mimic that kind of tournament style, I think this can go really well. Again, for those of you who didn't play the game, the original game, tournaments were basically a whole nother dimension where people would fight it out using their powers, and winning would get you certain points, and you could use those points to get limited champions, limited specials. The light fruit actually used to be a tournament reward. But guys, we are getting Arias Pity, thank the heavens. For those of you who don't know, I am 7 days into farming Rias. Nothing. 7 days in, no Rias. The Rias Pity better save all the Rias kills I've already done. If not, I'm actually going to freak out. I'm going to freak out. But this is really exciting. Although I'll probably end up getting Rias before the Pity is reinstated. But for those of you who haven't even started getting Rias yet, perhaps I'd wait until Pity is added. However, something else on the con side of things is 4X is going to end when Dimension 2 comes out. Now, that is interesting. It's not 100% going to go away because there will be 2X weekend events, but 4X going away will be devastating for the early game. So if you're watching this and you haven't even started the game yet, and you're thinking about starting, the time is now. The time is now. And same to everyone else who is progressing through the game. This is the time to progress, because as soon as 4X event ends, yeah, good luck, mate. Interesting aspect to the UI, we're going to get profiles. So your list of mini bosses killed, your stats, bosses killed. It's just an interesting aspect to the game to make the game look cleaner. For a game about progression and training and flexing those stats that you get through progression and training, I think it's a really cool aspect. We have also got an estimated time for Dimension 2, roughly 2 weeks, and along with that, the Battle Pass will be removed. That is this original Battle Pass here, and probably the Valentine's as well. However, it will be replaced with a new Battle Pass, or Fighting Pass rather, so not everything is bad. There will be a new Fighting Pass, so new specials, new champions, that's something to look forward to. There will also be an admin abuse event, like Steal the Brain Rot or Grow a Garden. That will be really interesting, because I don't really know what an admin event on this game would even look like. When FP was talking about that, I thought he was joking, but apparently not. There's going to be an admin abuse event. Yeah. No idea what that's going to entail, but yeah, I'm sure it'll be pretty exciting. There will also be a token conversion system for the future. For those of you who don't understand what that means, basically the tokens... hello? The tokens for like gachas here, there'll be a conversion system, which is really nice, particularly for the hero rank. There's like an S rank in there, which is really hard to get. You can convert all your spare tokens to getting that one, which is very cool. And passive champion abilities are in the works. They're going to come out at the same time as tournaments come out. That's really exciting. Basically what I think that means is certain champions, I think really good example is Gojo from this banner here. When he came out, I was really disappointed with what he did. He only just like buffs chakra and then gives like a small damage increase. But champion passives would mean each champion gets their own kind of special passive that kind of is to do with what they do in an anime. For example, maybe Gojo will slow people down the closer they get to him. Probably not, but I think that's a cool suggestion. So let me know what you guys think. And also let me know if you guys have any champions you think would really benefit off special passives. And a new special is promised to come soon, along with that JJK theme, is Curse Techniques. That'll be really interesting. I wonder if they'll do domain expansions like the old game. They were a little bit buggy in the old game, domain expansions, but if they can make them work, domain expansions can look really, really cool. And we are also promised a Dimension 3, because trading is going to come to the game after Dimension 3. That's really interesting, promising Dimension 3 before Dimension 2's even been released. But that does show that the devs are thinking about the long term of this game, which I love to see. More classes are confirmed. This also isn't really relevant to now, because no one's reaching upper moon in probably quite a while. Maybe Kelvin will get it next week or something, but for the rest of the player base, I think we're all getting it in quite some time. And they will be adding all the old specials from AFS. That kind of includes like pyrokinetics, I think is a key special people have forgotten about from the old game. And then after that, they'll be adding their own specials. Personally, I really want to see Bankais in this game, or Bankais. I think that'd be pretty fun. And devs are doing their best to confirm updates will be less buggy. I don't know. I don't really know whether to believe this one, because I feel like bugs are out of devs' hands. You know, like they say they promised to make it less buggy, but I don't think they intended to drop last update with the bugs. I think the bugs happened either because they didn't see them, or because they didn't think they were serious enough. And so it's a nice promise, but in reality, devs are doing that anyway. So I don't really understand how a promise would really help in this situation. Part of the devs' kind of job is to check for bugs, and if they're letting bugs through already, accidentally, they don't really know how they can fix that. And devs are also really aware of the power creep, which is probably why a lot of the champions this update and from the Valentine's Part 1 were not insane. The only two kind of insane champions were Yumeko, maybe Alice, but Rias. Like Whitebeard, lots of people were disappointed with Whitebeard's stats, and I think that's kind of part of their attempt to stop power creep. Valentine's Day leaves the same day as Dimension 2, which probably confirms the fact that the Valentine's Pass will leave the same day. But honestly, if you haven't even finished the Valentine's Pass yet, what are you doing? Multi-open will come soon. I mean, it will help a lot of people. Personally, this is just a cool quality of life. Multi-open, I'm personally not too bothered about multi-open. But yeah, that's pretty cool, I guess. It'd be interesting to see how that works with like specials. Like if I go to Maiden Heaven here, would it just skip Maiden Heaven? If let's say I open 3 at once, I get Celestial Diamond, Time Crusader, and Crafted in Heaven. Which one will it give me? Do you know what I mean? But it'll be interesting. Previous swords from the old AFS will also become sword skins in this game, which I think is super. I assume they mean previous sword skins will become sword skins, because surely they'd be adding old swords as actual real swords. Don't know, but that would be cool. Dragon Fruit will be added permanently. That'll be interesting. Dragon Fruit was pretty cool in the old game. I remember when it dropped, there was lots of hype around it. It's basically Kaido's fruit from One Piece, but yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Also, lots of these training areas that you see around me will be transferred to Dimension 2. Most likely it will be like the newer ones, like probably this academy here, or just anything kind of taking up lots of space. Like something like the Founding Titan might be moved, although since its requirement's 1 trillion, perhaps not. But something like this cube, I would imagine being moved to Dimension 2. It looks a little bit odd, just in the middle of the sea, and it's also one of the later training areas. However, lots of models are going to be changed due to copyright. That's really interesting, because I mean, I'm going to use AA for reference, Anime Adventures. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the game. Probably lots of you have, but when they changed models, there was really bad reception from the player base. As long as models look somewhat like the characters, I'd be okay with it. But if, for example, I don't know, Alice became like black hair, she was wearing like brown clothes, and her eyes were like green or something, at that point it's like, as long as the models look somewhat like the characters, I'm okay with it. But if they look completely different, yeah, that's not very good, and I think lots of people can agree with that. And there's also going to be like an Artifacts 2.0, so something similar to Artifacts that do kind of what Artifacts do, but something different. I don't know how to feel about that one. I personally think artifacts are fine as they are, and I'm not a huge fan of them. Like, it genuinely feels like if your luck is bad, you can't progress, and if your luck is good, you can progress, which is very much like an anime tower defense. But I'm not too mad about the fact they're in the game. They have said more artifacts are going to exist. However, adding more systems like artifacts, I don't know how to feel about that one. Personally, I'm kind of against it. I think artifacts as fine as they are, leave them as they are. Maybe add some more, but don't do anything else, please, please. And auto rerolling traits will be added as well. I mean, that makes me believe that they're going to add a way to get lots of traits. If you're going to have to add auto reroll, perhaps a way to get thousands of traits. I don't know. Dimension 2 will have new artifacts. Oh no. Which kind of makes me second guess trying to get fighter on the current artifacts if in 2 weeks they're going to replace them anyway. Because progress at the moment is already kind of stunted because of the no new training areas. There's not really any point trying to train right now. And so why even get fighter on the best artifacts now if they're going to be replaced next update? And more quests for new powers will be added soon, so kind of similar to Boom. That'd be quite interesting. I'd like to see some new powers. I feel like they've been lacking on that side recently, so that's very nice. It's very nice. And devs confirm they will be testing a lot more. I mean, they have already added lots of testers already. They've done tester applications, so I can definitely see that effort being made, which is really, really nice to see. And I just hope that can eliminate lots of bugs in future updates. And they're going to do something else to stop power creep in updates. That sounds very mysterious. Don't really know what to say about it. I personally think power creep at the moment is not a huge issue. It's not like anime tower defense levels of power creep, like anime last stand or something. But power creep is definitely there, and I definitely think something needs to be done in the future to prevent it from getting out of hand, like anime last stand. Oh, that rhymed. I'm spitting bars. No, but anyway, that's good, but don't change the fundamentals of the game to stop that power creep. I'm putting my trust in the devs here, and hopefully they can keep to that trust. AFK auto rejoining is going to be fixed. That doesn't really apply to me because I use an auto clicker, but for those of you who I think are on like Xbox or mobile, that's very, very cool. That's very, very cool for you guys. And bi-weekly updates confirmed after Dimension 2. Me personally, I don't believe a single word of that. They've even said possibly tri-weekly. I think it'll more likely be tri-weekly, possibly monthly. I'd love for this game to have bi-weekly updates, and who knows, we may even have some bi-weekly updates. But I guarantee, unless they hire new developers, more developers, this game will not receive bi-weekly updates or even tri-weekly. But we can hope. A player base can dream. Well, that's everything Luck has said for this update, all the things he's promised. Whether all those things will come into fruition, it's still up to fate to let us know. But that's everything. If you guys enjoyed this video, please subscribe. I'm trying to grow this YouTube channel. I'm on TikTok mostly, but I'd really, really appreciate a subscription. Subscribe. Subscription sounds paid. Subscribing is free. Anyway, see you guys in the next one.